Hey, Chubba.
How you doing?
Good. How about you?
Doing great.
I wanted to ask you, obviously you're the last one into that room as far as the four guys that are there as far as arriving on campus. Do you feel behind in the playbook with those other guys, or because it's all new for everybody, do you kind of feel like you're all learning at the same speed?
As of right now, we're all learning the same installs together. So we've been going to the first install, and we've been slowly going through it. So as of right now, I don't feel behind at all. I've been doing the same exact plays everyone else is on. The whole offense is going through 1 through 4 right now, and we're taking it step by step.
Hey, Chubba. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad, thanks. Hey, wondered, that you had all this time leading up before you came up on campus. Obviously, your brother's done extremely well at the college level. Were you able to work with him in the offseason or discuss some things, or what did you do in terms of preparing before you got to Florida State?
Yes, sir. When we were in quarantine before I came to Florida State, I was in Florida actually for 2 months, staying with my dad's buddy, and my brother was with me as well. And we went over plays and we threw. He helped me a lot on footwork, making reads, and every single day we went out with my dad, and he coached me up a ton for about 2 hours a day, and we threw a ton. And my brother helped me a lot with knowing what I should do and what I should suspect from the college level.
Hey Chubba, through a few practices here, I guess what has the speed of the college game been like, and how do you feel like you've done adjusting to that next level?
The college speed is obviously, I feel like it's a tad bit faster than high school. It's not really extremely faster, but I could tell there's a difference in it. As of right now, I only have my second practice today, so I'm adapting to that. The speed of the receivers, corners, D linemen, but I think once I get adjusted to that it's just going to become normal to me.
Hey, Chubba. Before you arrived in Tallahassee, how much were you able to do in terms of studying the playbook, the offense? What kind of information were the coaches able to give you so that you weren't starting from scratch when you got here?
Before I got here, when I was in quarantine, I'd go over plays with one of the coaches, and I'd be on FaceTime, and we'd go over some of the installs, and he'd just get my feet wet so I know what I would know. So when I came here, I wouldn't be far behind. So he just gave me little details on what to know before I came here, so I wasn't way behind the other quarterbacks.
Hey, Chubb, I guess how quickly have you kind of been able to establish relationships with the rest of the quarterbacks? And how much have James and Jordan, the veterans of the room, really been people you've kind of relied, asked questions to, things of that sort as you've gotten acclimated here?
Yes, sir. Every time I ask a question to James or Jordan, they stop and they help me, especially James. James is awesome. He helps me if I ask him a question about a read or a certain type of play on who to read. He helps me a lot on that. And he's obviously been here quite a while. He helps me a ton. And I really respect that, and I appreciate him doing that for me.
Hey, Chubba, for people who haven't seen you play before, how would you describe your game? Like, what do you think you do well? What makes you a unique and special player?
I would just say, I'm pretty athletic. I got good eyes down the field. Like, if a play breaks down, I can just really make something happen with my legs. And I always make sure, even if the play breaks down and nothing's there, I make sure to keep my eyes downfield no matter what, just in case a receiver's open. And if not, to make sure I throw the ball away. So I just once I get to college, I just gotta really be smart with the ball and not take a lot of hits and throw the ball away. But especially in college, I think something that's really good for me is just being athletic.
Hey, Chubb, I just got a quick question, more of a personal interest thing. And obviously, you're from Phoenix, and I spent time as a kid in Phoenix in high school and played football in Florida. And they're very hot places. But did you notice a distinction in the heat when you moved to the South? You spent some time in Florida this summer, and was it an adjustment for you, or are you prepared for it already?
Yeah, so a lot of people have asked me that, but Arizona heat is different than Florida. Arizona, it's like 115 out, but it's a dry heat. So you're not, you sweat, but not as much as Florida. Florida is more humid, obviously, and right when you get out in that field, you're already dripping sweat. And I got to get used to that also. But in general, I think it's pretty much the same thing, except you just sweat a little bit more. But the heat, I'm used to that.
This being our first time talking to you, I guess a little background in terms of you were someone that I know FSU was kind of late in on you in the recruiting process, and Coach Norvell's only here a couple weeks when you kind of signed on. I guess what was it about him and his staff that really made you make kind of the decision, given kind of how late in the process FSU got in?
So yeah, obviously he was recruiting me late in the process, but he just got here and got that job. But when I was on my visit, he was telling me like all the things he's done with his previous quarterbacks and how much success every single quarterback he's coached has had. And when I saw the stats and their offense, I really jumped on that, and I really liked what they were doing. And he's got Dillingham. He's super smart with the plays, and he's gonna help me a lot. And so I just think what they've done previously is a big factor of why I came there.
Hey, Chubba, it seems like now in college football that the quarterbacks, it seems like there's such a strong desire to play right away. And I know your brother played right away. When you were in high school, you did have the experience of watching a little bit when you were younger. What, I guess, have you given any consideration to, okay, if I don't win the starting job, how to handle that? Because again, if you look around the country, a lot of times quarterbacks, if they don't win the job from day one, a lot of times they start looking elsewhere.
Yes, sir. My freshman, sophomore year, I backed up my brother on varsity. And what I did, my dad always told me that when you back him up, just really absorb it and just be ready, because you never know what's going to happen. And my dad always told me just learn from the older guys, but you're also going to try to compete and win that job. But if not, you're just going to sit back and make sure you're always ready, and make sure you know what you're going to do if you ever do go in, and to just learn from the older guys as well.
Chubba, you mentioned the athleticism being a part of your game a little bit earlier. I was looking up online. I've seen some places that say you've run the 40-yard dash in 4.4 seconds. I've seen others 4.6. Do you know what your top 40 time is?
In high school, my going into senior year, I ran a 4.42, and then I ran a 4.44 right after that, and then that was the last time I ran a 40.
Hey Chubba, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. Basically, you haven't gotten to throw or participate with any of your teammates up until now. Who's been kind of your favorite to throw to, people to interact with, just even like friends you made with on the team?
I like throwing to everyone, honestly. Everyone that I've thrown to has been great. Tight ends have all been great. Every single receiver, all the wideouts, every time I get out there, I'm confident that they're going to be ready to catch it. So as of right now, I don't really have a favorite, because I'm pretty confident in everyone right now.
All right. Thank you, Chubba.
Thank you.
Okay.